History of Valentine's Day. Should Christians celebrate Valentine's Day? Is February 14 a Christian holiday? May be a surprise to some, but there are more pagan connections to Valentine's Day than that of Christian ones. Tradition. Date of February 14. Parentalia. Juno Lupo, the she-wolf. Peace, love, and household gods were celebrated on February 13th. The second day of Parentalia, February 14, was dedicated to Juno Lupo, the she-wolf, who suckled Romulus and Remus. Feast of Lupercalia. Young men and priests called Luperci will go to a grotto dedicated to Lupercal, the wolf god. They then would dress themselves in bloody skins of sacrificial goats. Afterwards, in an act of purification, run a course to the city of Rome and Juno Lupo's cave around the Palatine Hill. Hitting women with strips of goat skin as they went to promote fertility. February 15 was the celebration of the second day of Lupercal, honoring Faunus, the god of fertility, and the third day of Pantonelia, dedicated to Juno, Februata. The Romans played out a riot of romantic roulette. The Luperci drew the names of young women from a box, thus paired by the gods. The couples remained paired until the following Lupercalia. Cupid, the Roman god of love, one of the most famous of all Valentine's symbols. As the son of Venus, he is often depicted as a mischief-winged child whose arrows pierce the hearts of the victims, causing them to fall in love. Cupid is derived from the Latin word cupado, which means desire. Brace yourself, because what I'm about to tell you gets really disturbing. Nimrod was also called Cupid as a child. It is said that when Nimrod's mother saw him, she lusted after him, and she desired him. So evil was Nimrod's mother that it is said that she married her own son. Inscribed on the monuments of ancient Egypt are the inscriptions, Nimrod, the husband of his mother. As Nimrod grew up, he became the child hero of many women who desired him. He was their Cupid. In the book of Daniel, he is called the desire of women, Daniel 11:37. He provoked so many women to jealousy that an idol of him was often called the image of jealousy. After Nimrod's death, it was believed that he had ascended to the sun and was now to be called Baal, the sun god. Do you think these pictures provoke desire in pedophilers? Cupid is just an old-fashioned case of child pornography. Saint Valentine, the Christian priest. According to one story, Roman Emperor Claudius II imposed a ban on marriages because too many young men were dodging the draft by getting married. Only single men had to enter the army. A Christian priest named Valentinus was caught performing secret marriages and sentenced to death. While awaiting execution, young lovers visited him with notes about how much better love is than war. The execution was said to have occurred in 269 CE on February 14th. Don't let this fool you. It's just another excuse to celebrate the ancient Roman pagan holiday on February 14th, disguised as holy with a Christian priest's propaganda. Now, there's another story about a different Christian priest named Valentinus. And from his story, we get the reason why we pass out Valentine cards. You already know. The Romans played out a rite of romantic roulette. The Luperci drew the names of young women from a box. This is how the story goes. This Valentinus was a priest jailed for helping Christians. During his stay, he fell in love with the jailer's daughter and sent her note signed, "From your Valentine." Paganism and Christian together, thanks to the Catholic Church. But if you know your history, the religious leaders won't fool you. In 469, Emperor Gelasius declared February 14th a holy day in honor of Valentinus instead of the pagan god Lupercus. This allowed Christianity to take over some of the celebrations of love and fertility, which had previously occurred in the context of paganism. Pagan celebrations were reworked to fit the martyr theme. The church's version replaced a lottery of lovers with the lottery of saints. Instead of drawing names of young maidens from a box, Christians pulled out saints. Valentine's Day is no longer part of the official calendar of any Christian church. It was dropped by the Catholic Church in 1969. A return to a more pagan-like celebration of February 14 is not surprising, and neither is the overall commercialization of the day. The Catholic Church helped to make Valentine's Day a cultural holiday, and now it's all about the dollar bills. Valentine's Day, a commercial holiday. Hundreds of millions of dollars are spent on chocolates, candy, flowers, dinners, hotel rooms, jewelry, and other gifts used to celebrate February 14th. What does the scriptures have to say? Isn't it time we examine why we encourage our children to celebrate St. Valentine's Day? Ancient traditions still exist in the observance of Valentine's Day. It is clear that Valentine's Day is associated with the worshiping of other gods. There is no scripture encouraging the celebrating of Valentine's Day or any holiday for that matter. Deuteronomy 12:29, When the Lord thy God shall cut off the nations from before thee, whither thou goest to possess them, and thou succeedest them and dwellest in their land. Take heed to thyself that thou be not snared by following them, after that they be destroyed from before thee. And inquire thou not after their gods, saying, How did these nations serve their gods? Even so will I do likewise. Thou shalt not do so unto the Lord thy God, for every abomination to the Lord which he hateth have they done unto their gods, for even their sons and their daughters have they burnt in the fire to their gods.